I am really going to put my own theory to the test. And look, have my theories been good on my best bets provided by FanDuel? No, not all the time. But there's no better time to put it to the test than in rivalry week, where you take the team that's getting points because crazy things can just transpire. Let's start with the duel in the desert. This is the Friday night game in the Big 12. Arizona into the top 25. Wildcats having a good second season under Brent Brennan. They go play a Sam Levitt-less Arizona State Sun Devils team that's figured out how to make Jeff Sims a winning quarterback. I got to tell you, I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But that's what we're looking at here. Kenny Dillingham is doing arguably as good of a coaching job this season as he did last year when he, won the Big 12 and was within one play of going to the national semifinals against Ohio State. Arizona State is at home and they're 1.5-point dogs. Give me the Sun Devils to win. Close game, 30-27. I'll take Arizona State at home. That's kind of a principal bet because I like the way Arizona has played. But Arizona State quietly, because they're not going to wind up in the Big 12 championship game, at least in all likelihood, they have quietly been playing some of the best football in the conference. So at home, and I don't have to give up any points, Arizona State plus 1.5. Next, the Iron Bowl. How could you not? I've got Bama winning 23-21, Auburn plus 5.5. Upset potential is real. I don't trust Auburn's offense enough, but I don't know how much I trust Alabama's offense on the road, and Auburn hasn't won this game since 2019. But each of the last two times that they have played at Jordan-Hare, they have been within 5.5 points. I think that continues again on Saturday. So that's just a few too many. This started out at kind of 6.5 or so. I think it went down to 4.5, back up to 5.5. I think this is a field goal game. Really, no matter how you slice it, and I think Alabama's going to win. I've got to win them by 2. Maybe it's with a late field goal. Maybe they redeem themselves after the field goal debacles of the Oklahoma game. So those are the first two. One more underdog, and again, this is more about principle. If you think that's wrong-headed, all right, go for it. Speaking of teams quietly playing good football, Wisconsin over the last couple of weeks has beaten Illinois, has only lost one time. They beat Washington a couple of weeks ago. I tell you what, Luke Fickell got announced as the head coach for 2026 and maybe beyond, and ever since that announcement, the Badgers have figured something out. Does that mean I'm going to like them going into next year? Not really. I need to see what they do in the offseason first. And I'm not a big fan of these teams that, start out 1-5 or 6 or whatever, and then they make a push. Oh, see, we got it figured out. Yeah, that's the first half of the season counts, guys. So Wisconsin in a rivalry game. This is one of the more underrated rivalries in college football. Minnesota and Wisconsin really don't like each other. They really, really don't. Minnesota is at home. I'm rowing the boat this week. Give me the oar, the paddle, whatever you want to call it. I'll get in the boat with PJ Fleck and say, just like Arizona State, giving up points, it's got to make you think. But when you're getting points, Minnesota plus 1.5, they win outright this is a low-scoring game. Not a lot of points. 17-14. Minnesota finds a way to get it done. Now for the favorites. And this is just how it's worked out this week. I've got 3 underdogs and 3 favorites. I've got 3 games in the Mountain West that I like. Let me start with the one that I like the least, but I'm going with anyway because I love Matt Entz as a head coach. Matt Entz at Fresno State was on USC staff. He was at North Dakota State before that. I think Fresno State has quietly made one of the best hires in the Group of 5 ranks in all of college football. And in the coming years, once the new Pac-12 gets put together next season, they are going to be a player for the college football playoff. I really believe that. And another hire in that same regard is going to be mentioned here in just a moment. But they go to San Jose State, who they're okay. They are okay. But I like the way Fresno State's playing football right now. Minus 3.5 on the road. Swallow that. They win 27-20. Here's the other one. San Diego State at New Mexico. Jason Eck, Sean Lewis. These two guys' names, you might have seen them pop up from time to time on coaching hot boards, and that's because both have done a phenomenal job. Eck came from Idaho. He's gone to New Mexico, who lost Bronco Mendenhall to another Mountain West future Pac-12 school at Utah State. He's doing all right there. These are two really good coaches, but boy, San Diego State has covered for me before. I'm going to pick them to win and cover again. It's that San Diego State defense that I like. And late in the year, when it gets a little, they're playing in New Mexico. I don't know how cold it's going to be exactly. Haven't checked the weather forecast, but defense always travels on the road. I think San Diego State's offense does enough. They win this game 20-10 at New Mexico in a low-scoring battle. And finally, this is probably my favorite, perhaps my best bet of the week. If there was just one, if you're going to fade the picks, I can't blame you because I have been ice cold for the last couple of weeks coming into this rivalry group of games. But this is the one pick I'd say, no, don't fade that one. Fade the rest however you like, can't blame. But if you go and take Wyoming plus 8.5, I'm not going to be able to tell you that that's a good idea. The other ones, yeah, I can rationalize it very easily. Hawaii minus 8.5 against Wyoming. The rough times for Wyoming's football program. They have not scored double-digit points in a game since mid-October. Hawaii's offense, just a couple weeks ago, put up 38 on San Diego State, who I think has the best defense in the conference. So Hawaii giving up 8.5, it's a big number. I don't think this game is particularly close. Hawaii minus 8.5, Wyoming, let's say they get to 10 points. You telling me the Rainbow Warriors, who can throw the football around? Alejado at quarterback, good player. You telling me they're not going to get to 20? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that because I think they will. 31-10. This is Hawaii rolling over Wyoming. That is my favorite bet of the week. So the underdogs are Arizona State plus 1.5, Auburn plus 5.5, Minnesota plus 1.5. The favorites, Hawaii minus 8.5, Fresno State minus 3.5, San Diego State minus 1.5. Fade at will, everybody. Those are the best bets for the week, provided, of course, by our friends at FanDuel. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. Enjoy the football, and until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.